Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
That is the only thing. Welcome to At Odds.
That and the police.
The police. It's hard to hear the police when...
What?
The engineer didn't do his job today. And he forgot to plug in one very important cable.
Yeah, which would be my microphone. You never.
No. It wasn't your microphone.
Oh.
It was the cable that I give you every damn time to plug into your computer. Well, don't do it now. Oh, jeez.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully we didn't blow too many speakers out there. Welcome to At Odds. I'm Nate. That's Brian over there. Say
I'm
hi,
Brian. Hi, Nate.
That's Brian.
Hi, Brian. I guess I got to say that.
Oh, boy. All right.
Hey, today is Thursday, February 27th, 2014.
Hey. And we're live.
We are live in the back room of the You Ain't Got No Rights bar and studio. In what country, Nate?
Uganda.
No, I think it's the USA.
No, it's not. You're
It's
wrong
really
about that, first
no,
of all.
really.
It is Uganda today,
It's
where they
the
also don't have any rights.
USA.
Uganda here, it was hard to get you into this country because they just enacted that anti-gay law.
Yep.
But we got you here, and you haven't been imprisoned yet.
And I'm out there and loving
You're
it.
just so happy.
I'm just
You're
loving
so
it.
happy all the time.
Very gay. And you can call us at 248-455-ODDS. That's 248-455. Let's try this. 248-455-6337.
Yeah, or hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/AtOddsShow. I'll be monitoring that. You can send us a message. I may or may not respond to you, so that'll be fun.
I also want to say be sure to listen to the Nathan Nephew Show. #1 show on Red State Talk Radio for 2013, but it's 2014 now, so you got to start all over, buddy.
I did start over.
You're only as good as your, whatever.
Hey,
And
no,
you ain't
look,
any good.
I think that in the spirit of the president getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and then this guy on CNN or
That's
whatever.
very old news. What are you talking
CNN
about?
getting the
Did he get another one?
Cronkite Award for broadcasting whatever after like
Excellence.
a week of broadcasting. I think that Red State Talk Radio should issue the 2014 Talk Show of the Year preemptively before any talk shows even do anything too big this year. I think if they gave an award out
They could say,
for what may happen.
I declare the At Odds Show is the #1 talk show on Red State Talk Radio.
Personally, I would pick At Odds, but
Well,
I
of
mean,
course, because you've already
they
got
might not.
for the Nathan Nephew show.
They might not pick At Odds.
You're very greedy.
I let you look at the plaque every time you come to the
I
studio.
do. I salivate. And, I'm very jealous.
That's not obvious, though, so don't worry.
If you get a knock at the door and you open it up and the police are there and they say, we would like to come into your house.
You had better not be holding a Wii remote.
Well, we'll get into that a little later because that's a very dangerous thing. But if you say, no cops in my house, but your wife says, oh, come in, have some coffee,
Yep.
have a crumpet.
Yep.
They can't come in. But they can wait until you go off to work like a good husband.
Sure.
And they can come back and say, nah, what was that thing you said we could come in and search? And your wife goes, yes, come in, have coffee and crumpets. Then they come in and they find your 5,000 marijuana plants down in your basement.
Yep.
Your 4,000 gallons of hooch moonshine and a sawed-off shotgun.
Just one.
It is perfectly good search. Perfectly legal.
Yeah.
Admissible in court because the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, ruled it so.
Yeah.
That any resident of a house can override another's refusal as long as that other person isn't there. Now, that's wonderful, but this is what happens. Is let's say they want to come into your house really, really bad.
And they do.
And they do. They're steaming out there.
Yes, they are.
And one is like, yes, you can come in, and one says, no, you can't. They could take the one that says, no, you can't, into their car under detainment or arrest, handcuff them, put them in the vehicle, and then walk up to the person that says, yes, you can, then go in, do their search, and that's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
Even though the detainment and arrest of the person has shown to be, well, they dropped the charges or whatever, maybe unlawful, doesn't matter. And they now have access to your house and can search and use whatever they find in there against you in a court of law.
And the Supreme Court of the United States said
6-3.
that is okay.
The 3 liberals on the court voted against it, which I agree with. I think this is wrong, wrong, wrong. One person argued, they said, it's no different than if the police come to your house and let's say you're at work and your wife says, yeah, come on in, and you go and they go in and they search and your husband wouldn't have let them in there, that's a legal search. Well, that's
right.
Okay, that's true. But if someone says explicitly, no, I don't grant you authority to come into my home, and then leaves and goes to work, I think those are two entirely different things.
First, I want to say real quick, this highlights why it is so important to make sure everybody in your family or in your household is on the same page with this sort of thing. When the police show up and want to search, it doesn't matter what situation you're in, you say no.
Well,
and everybody in your family or in your household needs to be on the same page if you don't want to face something like this.
But that's assuming that everybody in the household likes you.
Right.
Because this is not just
in
about
general,
families.
It's not a good idea to live with somebody that doesn't like you because you'll end up in a situation like this, especially if you have
college students
especially if
living
you
together.
have 5,000 pot plants in the basement.
Yeah.
Don't live with people that are going to let the police in. I mean, that's just life.
They're bogarting
It's
you.
tough, and this happens. But I think that that's a good point, because if you're not there and somebody is there and gives them consent to search, it's essentially the same thing. Because how long, when you do not give consent,
how long does your no last?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. How long does
it last? I think if they
last?
make it implicit that I don't want you searching my house and you go off to work, and then your wife says, yeah, come on in, I think you got an issue there. I don't think it's exactly the same as you're not there to defend yourself.
But doesn't your wife have the right to allow them in? I mean, if it really is her home as much as yours, doesn't she have the right to let people in?
Let's say he's not at work. Let's say they're standing side by side, and she says yes, and he says no. Who wins? That's the issue.
Yeah.
And the courts have always held that the person that says no wins.
Because
that was.
What are you saying no for? You're already annoying me. We're 2 minutes in.
That was previous Supreme Court cases have said that. Yes.
No.
If one person says no, they win.
Okay.
Now they're saying, well, not so much. Because if you say no and then leave, what you said no to earlier doesn't count anymore.
Well, you have to actually be there to block them from going through the door.
I guess. I mean, that's crap, and that's the issue. The Supreme Court is slowly killing the Fourth Amendment, and they've been doing it over and over and over and over again.
It's not the Supreme Court. It's
everybody.
The Supreme
Court.
It's not just the Supreme Court.
They've always
ruled.
The
Supreme Court has never barged into somebody's house and taken things from them.
How do you know that?
I know them well.
I don't think you know that.
We have cider and crumpets together.
You could not be more wrong.
Yes, I could.
No.
I could.
You don't know what the Supreme Court does in their off time. Right?
Volleyball.
Volleyball? I doubt it, but I think smoking pot.
Ginsburg.
I think a lot of them are pot smokers, but not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyways,
there is.
I think, from a personal freedom point of view in the Fourth Amendment, I think this is a bad decision. If someone is there and expresses they don't want a search, that should be respected, and that's the end of it.
Then I don't have the ability, if I'm also there, to let them in if I want them to come in. So then where's my personal liberty? Now, if somebody's in there causing trouble or hurt or something, can I deny access to help?
Now, there's a different point. See, there's probable cause. If they think there's a crime afoot,
Oh,
or if
I'm
there's
not
a
talking
crime,
about a crime.
Committed, then they don't need a warrant. They can go in. So if there's
Well, that's why you always refuse to search.
Right.
Always.
If there's a domestic violence and someone comes to the door and they're all bloody and bleeding and the husband's drunk and belligerent, or vice versa, because, women can abuse men, then they have probable cause. They think that a crime is committed. They can come into your home then. This is not the case. This is a cold call. This is like a salesman knocking on your door and saying, can we come in?
Yeah.
We think, we want to fish around.
Yeah,
we want to see.
Yeah.
And we will come into your house if someone says, oh. Now, the other thing is, does a 12-year-old child have the ability to say, yeah, come in and search?
Yeah.
Or is it just adults? I don't know.
Well, and that's that same point. What about a friend that just happens to be visiting?
No, they don't have
answer the door.
No, they don't have power. It has to be someone that is living in that household.
And the police always check that before they come in.
Well, yeah, but if it were a friend, if it was your neighbor says, yeah, come on into my buddy's house, it would not be admissible.
Yeah, sure.
They have to have a stake in that. So, that's what the Supreme Court has ruled. Mm-hmm. Scary place. It almost makes me want to go to another country, but
no, it doesn't.
Unfortunately, there's worse countries out there.
Lots and lots of worse, and not too many better. I would say none better.
That's what's so frightening.
So, yeah,
because when the bastion of liberty is the United States, and it's losing, then you've got nowhere else to go.
The last stand on earth. It seems like I've heard that before.
What is it?
The last stand. It was Reagan. I don't know where he got it from, right? But he made that point that this is it.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think he's not unique in that statement.
He's kind of unique.
Please.
All right.
I want to punch you in the face.
You remember David Gregory on Meet the Press? He was doing an interview with the NRA, and he held up a high-capacity magazine.
Who's David Gregory?
Don't worry about it.
He's a news person.
Yeah, he was on Meet the Press.
He's a media person. A liberal media person.
We're running out of time.
No, we have plenty of time.
Okay.
We've got 30 seconds. Go ahead. Now. Go.
That's all I got.
Go.
That's it.
He brought a magazine into Washington, D.C., illegal to do so. The prosecutor said, well, we could prosecute him, but it's really not in the best interest of safety, so we're not going to.
He doesn't have a criminal record. And he's a good guy, and we know he didn't mean any harm. Well, it turns out that doesn't apply to everybody. There's another man being charged with possessing illegal ammunition. Well, his charge was dropped, but they searched his home because they had heard that he owned firearms, and you can't have firearms in D.C.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it turns out, you can't own them and all this, right? Unregistered. Now, it turns out that he does own firearms, but he keeps them in Virginia, where there is some semblance of freedom, at his sister's house. Mm-hmm. Well, when they searched his place, they found an empty shotgun shell and a piece of lead. A piece of lead around for a muzzle loader, but it's just a piece of lead. You can't do anything without a bunch of other components to make either of these things fire.
It's like a rock.
Yeah, it's a piece of lead is what it is. Well, that's illegal because it was unregistered ammunition.
That's not true because it's not really ammunition. It's a piece of lead.
Mm-hmm. So in Washington, D.C., that was illegal because it was unregistered ammunition.
So if I have a piece of lead in my house, it's illegal?
It's the same as having a 30-round magazine. It is nothing without many other components other than a hunk of metal.
Oh my!
It's
Lord.
the same thing. We've went over this 1,000 times.
Is this what this world's coming to?
In fact, you would think they would drop the charges because it's very similar to David Gregory having the 30-round magazine. They don't drop the charges.
Oh,
they charge him with possession of unregistered ammunition. And then when he asks for a jury trial, they say, well, a jury probably wouldn't convict you. So
no, there's nullification.
That unregistered ammunition that you possessed, we're going to charge you with attempted possession of that ammunition.
Even though he said, I already possess it.
I possess it. I didn't attempt to possess it. I actually possess it. It was in my house.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
But since they did that, it's only a 6-month sentence, and he cannot have a jury trial. It's a misdemeanor.
Right. So it's a judge.
No jury trial. So the jury's not going to help him. The judge, well, it's a D.C. judge, so what do you think?
It's a long ride on a hard pole.
Yeah. I mean, good news is he'll only get 6 months in jail, and he'll move on with his life,
and it
right?
probably will be dismissed, or not dismissed, but he'll probably won't do 6 months. They'll fine him, and that'll be the end of it.
But he'll still have something on his record.
But he'll have
this.
a misdemeanor crime.
Better
for a piece
yet,
of lead.
He also didn't have a criminal record, but there was an accusation.
An accusation
of domestic violence at one time in his past.
Oh, yeah, that was
He
right.
was accused of it. The police department didn't even investigate it.
Right.
He was never charged, convicted, wasn't even investigated.
So what did the AG's office say?
The AG's office, Ted Guest here, said accusations that are unproven
Can
in
still
court
be.
factor into prosecution decisions. They take this random person saying, hey, he did a bad thing, and they use that to make decisions in the Attorney General's office in Washington, D.C.
You know all the bad things I've accused you of, Nate?
Yeah, why do you think I keep getting letters from the Attorney General in D.C.?
Saying, watch out.
We have these accusations.
Accusations.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Facebook.com/AdOddshow.
We may or may not come back. I don't know.
455 odds.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-1892 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-1892 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-1892. That's 1-800-516-1892. Again, 1-800-516-1892.
Are you frustrated with your current job, not making the type of money that you know you are worth? Is it time for a change? Start earning money working from home with Autopilot Marketing. Go to income28.com now. That's income, the number 28.com. Take our free video tour today and start earning money as early as next week. Go to income28.com. That's income, the number 28.com.
Honestly, I don't feel great about my mom living alone. She's growing older and weaker every day. That's reality when you're in your 70s. But remaining independent is important to her, and I get that. That's why I chose Medical Guardian to ensure her safety. If she falls and can't reach the phone, if there's a fire, or if someone breaks in, she presses one button, help comes rushing, and I am contacted. Accidents and emergencies really do happen. I refuse to risk her safety, and I feel good about choosing Medical Guardian. After all, she's my mom.
Protect your parent and give yourself peace of mind. Call 800-325-1089 for a free brochure. Medical Guardian has no activation fees, equipment costs, or long-term contracts. Be one of the first 50 callers to find out how you can get a free month of service. That's Medical Guardian at 800-325-1089. Ask how you can get a free month of service. 800-325-1089. That's 800-325-1089.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't know if I do. If that guy's going to be around, he's kind of creepy.
He's kind of the creepy
and
guy.
I'm not. Was it a woman?
I'm not sure. Why is that important?
It's
Why is
because we called it a creepy guy.
Well, we did, but that's just us locally here.
Oh, right.
Nationally, they might call it a person.
All right. So good news.
Yeah.
Great news for the gay rights people. They'll love this.
Arizona.
Jan Brewer.
Arizona
Governor.
wants me because I can't go back there. No, that's Indiana.
Guess what she did?
Vetoed.
She vetoed Senate bill. I think it's Senate. Whatever. SB 1062 or whatever it is. The whole thing that didn't say anything about gay marriage or anything about gays at all, that the gay lobby decided to take upon themselves to trash anybody who thinks that people should have freedom in this country.
I don't know.
And so it was vetoed.
They're talking about this religious freedom, that the businesses should be allowed for religious purposes to deny service to anybody that they disagree with from their religious belief.
And they should.
Great. But I wonder how well that would go if I was a business owner and I said, I ain't going to serve no stinking Muslims because that's against my religious belief. How well that would go.
It would go over just as well as not baking a cake for a gay couple.
Or if I said, my religion says that black people are subordinate to everybody else, and I don't have to serve them black people, and I'm not going to serve anybody in my store that's black.
That would also go over just as well as not serving Muslims, not serving gay people. But who are we to tell you who you have to serve?
I'm a business owner, and I don't like them German people at all.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay.
We get the point.
Okay.
Who am I?
So where does it?
And who are you? And who is the government, more importantly, to tell anybody who they have to do business with?
Well, there's a historical precedent to this, and this has been established a long time ago because in the 50s and 60s, private businesses were saying the same thing. Why are we serving blacks? Why do we allow black people to rent hotel rooms from us? Why can they sit at the diner stand at Kresge's or whatever?
And here comes government to save the day,
and they're going to say you can't persecute and deny those people services. What's wrong with that?
Here
Nate?
comes government to save the day. Look, society will fix that sort of thing.
They didn't over the last 2,000 years.
They didn't?
No.
So let me think about this because I'm not very good at math, but 1770 what? 6 is a good number. 2000. I don't think America's been around for 2,000 years. Now the Earth is 2014 years old.
I'm talking about
that's been established.
The history of the world, not just the United States.
Why? Look at all the places that have the biggest discrimination in them. What does the government look like? It's huge. It's making every decision for everybody. Uganda, what are they doing? Big old government. Oh, gay people can't have gay people. We don't like gay people. Look at the places with freedom or that used to have freedom, and people generally just got along. It works. That's the way it should be. And if it doesn't work, freedom isn't the easiest thing to deal with in all cases. But it's always the right answer.
Let me get this straight. You're all for private businesses denying black people services in their...
Not one bit. No, absolutely. I am not for that. Okay. Nope. And I wouldn't spend money at a place that did that.
Okay.
Much like right now, I try very hard not to spend money on a place that doesn't welcome me, which is the other thing I want to talk about when I carry a gun, which is a civil right. I don't care what anybody says. It turns out that is a civil right as well. I don't spend money at those places. If somebody was going to discriminate,
it's a human right.
If somebody was, if somebody was going to discriminate against a class of people for something that I disagreed with, or I disagree with the discrimination, I'm not going to spend money there. And I think the majority of people would do that. Now, the other part to this, since the gay rights groups did turn this into a gay rights issue, which it is not.
Well, they're trying to call it a religious issue.
They have been.
I don't believe that.
I don't think that it should be only a religious issue, but I think religion is a good enough reason to run your business the way you want to run it, and to run it into the ground by making stupid decisions. I think whether you call it religion, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter.
So you're saying let the market decide?
Yeah, absolutely let the market decide. Now, the other weird thing is the gay lobby is so big and claiming so much victory that the majority of Americans support gay rights, right? So why wouldn't they just be content to have one of the majority of the Americans open a bakery that will serve gays? I mean, if there is such overwhelming support for this, why isn't there a market that caters to them? That's the part that I didn't really understand. That why even have that? Why would you want to go to a place that doesn't welcome you?
So separate but equal.
No, not by government. The government shouldn't force that. That's the difference.
They didn't before.
That's the difference.
Well, yeah, I guess
they did.
They did.
They did.
Yeah, they were involved in that.
Yeah, they were involved.
They
and
sanctioned
when government's
it,
involved.
And they said that's fine.
Exactly, and so
we can let
then,
you have that.
So why change it? And you know what? It did change, and it changed primarily because of private organizations, private people pushing for the change. Now, government they forced the government to make change, which ended up with more regulation and all that garbage.
It was the people that pushed the change that made the government do that.
Right, yeah.
And then the government had to step in and say, you have to serve everyone equally.
Yep. Well, they didn't have to, but they did.
Well. Okay.
Yeah. That's the point.
It's not an easy question.
The other thing here, well, it is easy. Personal freedom.
Well,
you don't have the right. You do not have the right to buy my services. You don't. It's the same thing with healthcare. You don't have the right, if I'm a doctor, to get medical advice from me. Except with things like Obamacare, it turns out maybe it is a right. You do have the right to healthcare. I am forced to serve you.
It makes it difficult when the only place you can get those services is one place that refuses to serve you.
And this was the only bakery because this came from
a
bakery.
I'm not using the bakery as an example, but there's lots of small towns across the United States, and a black guy is traveling through town, and he wants to get something to eat. And the owner, or needs. He's hungry. He's starving, and he's driving through, and the 7-Eleven says no, and Ma and Pa's cafe says no, and he can't get his car to get gasoline. And what does he do?
You really think that would happen?
That has happened
today.
Well, no, because we have laws in place. But
okay,
yes, it has happened.
So that's fine. Government solves everything.
No, I'm not saying that
the
either.
other part to this that I thought was funny is places like Delta Airlines, Marriott, the NFL, because the big part of this was the NFL, the Super Bowl is supposed to be in Arizona
now you're
next
getting
year.
into the corporations that are influenced.
They're all saying, "Ooh, you have to serve everybody." Well, my take on that is I am glad.
That's their right to
I
do
am
that.
glad that these organizations support civil rights.
Yeah.
I think the next time I go to an NFL game, I'll carry my firearm because as a civil right, I can do that. And they support civil rights. All people are equal. Everybody has to be treated equally. You cannot discriminate based on something that is protected.
Wait, Nate, I don't know if you got the memo.
No, I don't think so.
The NFL says you can't exercise your Second Amendment
can't?
right because you can't have any guns in our stadiums. Not even police officers off duty. The only ones that can have guns are the officially sanctioned security guards and the police who have special secret super training to work our games. Those are the only ones that have guns. So I don't know if you got that memo.
Wait, so they don't actually support civil rights?
No, I guess they don't.
Oh, that's weird. They're the people that I want on my side if I'm having a big battle.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah. It's rampant.
Isn't that something?
That is for sure that it's rampant.
Well, we're not going to solve it tonight, but
it's been solved. It's solved. Look, Jan Brewer vetoed the bill and nothing changed. It turns out that these businesses actually still have the freedom to practice their religion. It's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, and again, I think if that religion were to ban all blacks from our stores, there'd be an issue.
Well, there would, because there's an existing law, right?
Right. And all the gays are saying is we want to be included in that.
Mm-hmm. That's not. This bill didn't stop that, though. This bill really didn't do anything except kind of reinforce the law that was already on the books. I mean, you saw it. There weren't that many changes in the bill.
No.
It was 2 pages, and most of it was an existing bill.
Right.
But media and everybody else blows it up into a big anti-gay, Arizona hates gays and immigrants. Arizona hates everything that's not white.
Well, I think so.
I don't know if you knew that.
Even though Arizona was traditionally, Mexican. Mexico, part of Mexico.
Yeah, that's weird. All right, we'll be right back. 2 for 8, 4 5.
We will not be back.
5 odds. We will. I will.
All right.
See ya.
One of us will.
Red State Talk Radio.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5470. That's 800-953-5470. 800-953-5470.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-1892 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-1892 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-1892. That's 1-800-516-1892. Again, 1-800-516-1892.
Honestly, I don't feel great about my mom living alone. She's growing older and weaker every day. That's reality when you're in your 70s, but remaining independent is important to her, and I get that. That's why I chose Medical Guardian to ensure her safety. If she falls and can't reach the phone, if there's a fire, or if someone breaks in, she presses one button, help comes rushing, and I am contacted. Accidents and emergencies really do happen. I refuse to risk her safety, and I feel good about choosing Medical Guardian. After all, she's my mom.
Protect your parent and give yourself peace of mind. Call 800-325-1089 for a free brochure. Medical Guardian has no activation fees, equipment costs, or long-term contracts. Be one of the first 50 callers to find out how you can get a free month of service. That's Medical Guardian at 800-325-1089. Ask how you can get a free month of service. 800-325-1089. That's 800-325-1089.
Can't smoke at work, can't smoke in the parking lot, can't take a smoking break. Turn their can't into a can with Firelight Fusion electronic cigarettes. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Enjoy the flavor of tobacco or menthol in a convenient electronic cigarette that you can use pretty much everywhere. Get the pleasures of smoking without the smoke, the smell, the stares, and the drama. Visit firelight-fusion.com. That's firelight-fusion.com or call 888-329-7064.
Say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes, you did.
But I did.
I think we did this one last time.
I did.
Repeat.
I had sexual relations with that woman.
Miss Lewinsky.
Oh, no, not her.
Oh. Ooh.
Somebody entirely different.
Oh, never mind. Miss Lewinsky.
But you know what I like about the United States is I can pretty much, like this show, say anything I want.
Well, only because...
Without the government telling me
only
what to do.
Only because I have established a free speech zone in the studio. You see the red lines? We're surrounded by...
What country are we in again?
We're surrounded by red lines.
Uganda.
I almost spilled my cider.
Oh, my God, don't do that.
Wow.
That's
That
fermenting
disaster.
for days now.
It
That's
did.
almost
It's-
perfect.
No, it's done now.
Oh,
it's done.
Don't spill the hard cider.
If by days you mean weeks, then you'd be correct. But
I'm going to say...
anyway.
What?
You don't think it was a coincidence that I set this little thing up right next to my chair, do you?
I think it is, and I'm surprised that the Ugandan government hasn't come in and seized you.
Yeah. Luckily, I have only made 199 gallons
American passport! Americans! We're Americans!
That won't help. That won't help anymore because Obama...
We don't care.
Obama made him angry. Because he said,
I'm going to reduce the
we're going to
American-
have sanctions.
The United States down to
anyway,
the level of all other
so
countries.
I'm sure we talked about this before. You
We
said
did
we
not.
did not talk about this before, but
We
this
never
guy on Constitution Day was handing out constitutions
on a college
campus, which I would think on public property would be protected under free speech protections.
Au contraire, mon frere. You cannot do that because we have laws about you handing out pamphlets on campus.
Mm-hmm. We do?
We are not stopping you.
Where's the law?
From speaking and expressing your free speech. We are stopping you from handing out literature.
Right. So if you, I don't know, have a printing press and, I don't know, press a newspaper, you can't distribute that on campus. And that's okay. Because
Correct.
our First Amendment only applies to spoken word.
Correct.
Not blogging, not printing presses.
No.
Nothing except spoken word.
It is free speech.
Right.
It doesn't say free blog. It doesn't say free newspaper articles.
Actually, it does say, it does specifically say press in there. I don't know if you've read the First Amendment lately.
Damn
so
it.
That wasn't a good example. But it's the same point. Pretty sure that this guy can hand things out on public property if he wants. And, well, he was prosecuted for...
No, he wasn't prosecuted.
He was prosecuted.
He was not.
Look it up.
It was a campus policy. He was a California college student handing out...
Let me find Google.
Copies of the Constitution and talking
Let
to
me see
people.
here.
And they took them and they
Hang on.
said, you can't hand this stuff
Let's
out
see.
without a permit.
Yeah.
But...
Prosecuted, it says right here.
Prosecuted
MSNBC.
for what?
MSNBC said it.
No, he wasn't prosecuted
anyway,
by law.
He was not allowed to hand out constitutions, so he sues and says, nope, Constitution, the thing I'm handing out actually says I can hand it out.
That's circular reasoning, and I don't buy it.
And
guess what he won?
He won $50,000.
50,000 smackers.
Now, most of it's going to legal fees.
More importantly, the college has reevaluated their free speech zone because what the security guard was saying is we have an area over here down by the river in a van where I live. There you can talk about whatever you want because that's the free speech zone. But over here where you were, that's not a free speech zone. That's not part of America. That's part of the California college campus. And we say you can't talk there. But over there is fine. But you're over here, so we got a problem.
Yep.
Well, the college reevaluated that and said, maybe we should let people say what they want.
Yeah, maybe we
But
should
this is
because
an
it costs us
ongoing-
$50,000.
An ongoing question of what colleges can do and how they can indoctrinate kids and how, they can manipulate their professors and all kinds of issues. Either, we're free or we're not. And what better place than a college campus to express whatever
Either
you want?
We're free or we're not.
Right.
Asterisks with some government intervention because we need it, because we can't police ourselves.
Because the government is
now,
here to help us.
The other thing that I know for sure we talked about were these voluntary surveys of drunk driving, essentially.
Well, I disagree with that.
We talked about it where these people would be pulled over or whatever, ushered into this area, and they say, hey, do you want to answer some questions and take a breathalyzer and so we can see if you were drinking?
Wait a minute.
It's just a survey.
No.
We're just collecting data.
It's a private company that was doing this, just using the police to help them conduct their survey.
Mm-hmm. So
what's wrong with that?
I don't know why you said no.
I mean,
you disagree with nothing all the time, and it's weird.
If the police say that you have to do this, and it's voluntary, but it's not voluntary, but it's a private company, and you're not protected from the private company.
Okay,
you're only protected from the government.
It was voluntary. You didn't have to take the breathalyzer, maybe.
And
if it was found that you had been drinking, you weren't charged that night.
Oh, wait a minute.
And now if you blew over like a .05, which I think is legal, sort of, in this area, you were not allowed to leave. You had to find an alternate way to get home. They gave you a cab ride or whatever.
But you keep saying voluntary.
Well, it was completely voluntary.
Because it wasn't voluntary.
It was completely voluntary. You didn't have to stop. And once you were over there, you could say, no, I don't want to take a breathalyzer test.
It's too late because they already took it.
They did what?
What? They had a secret little
device. Wait, and they Velcroed it to their clipboard where they were taking notes?
It was hidden, and they shoved it in your face, and they go, do you want to
really
take this breathalyzer test?
A passive...
And
really?
And you say yes or no, it didn't matter because they were already taking one.
Like a passive breathalyzer is what it was, and you just had to breathe in the air, and it would... And it got the reading?
It was research.
And it was Velcroed, and they tried to hide it? They weren't even in the open with it?
It was research.
Really?
They weren't going to charge anybody.
Oh, well, if it was science, then it's okay.
It was science. All they wanted to know was how many people that said no to the breathalyzer actually were drinking, and how many people that said yes weren't drinking. So that
hoping to get some data, so when they're in a situation like I had where I said, I'm not going to tell you whether I was drinking or not, they can say, well, since you won't tell me, we have data here that says that you have been drinking. Well, he did tell me it was probable cause, but they want the actual data to back up that the majority of the time what they assume is if you have nothing to hide, you're going to consent. Yeah. And so the only time that you're going to turn them down is if you, in fact, are guilty of something.
Yeah, I mean, this was surreptitiously taking data on your breath, whether you agreed to a breathalyzer or not. This was wrong, and the good news was that a lot of police departments across the United States are saying they're no longer going to participate in this federal government voluntary traffic checkpoint. This was designed to gather data for programs aimed at preventing drunk and drug driving. Well, I don't know how you do drug driving because they don't have any field sobriety tests for marijuana or other drugs. But
so I was waiting for you to contradict yourself, and you did when you said private company, federal government study.
I was pointing that out as a contradiction.
Okay.
Remember, the rights that you have are only protected from the government. Private companies can abuse your rights all the time, right?
No, because the government says that they can't. So luckily, we've been protected by the government. I am happy. Look, as somebody who loves freedom, and everybody else that I've talked to claims to love freedom, I am happy that the government has stepped in these issues that we just can't handle ourselves. Because it would be terrible. What if
freedom is a scary thing?
What if I was offended? I can't be offended, so I need the government to help me, and they have.
Well, then we can get all of the police.
And I'm happy.
The police shootings of unarmed victims because the police thought they were.
All right, let's take a very, very quick break so we can talk about a couple of those. We'll be back at oddshow.com, facebook.com/@oddshow.
I've been told we will be back now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-1892 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-1892 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-1892. That's 1-800-516-1892. Again, 1-800-516-1892.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the no hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for no hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my no. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the no, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible no hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5470. That's 800-953-5470. 800-953-5470.
Honestly, I don't feel great about my mom living alone. She's growing older and weaker every day. That's reality when you're in your 70s, but remaining independent is important to her, and I get that. That's why I chose Medical Guardian to ensure her safety. If she falls and can't reach the phone, if there's a fire, or if someone breaks in, she presses one button, help comes rushing, and I am contacted. Accidents and emergencies really do happen. I refuse to risk her safety, and I feel good about choosing Medical Guardian. After all, she's my mom.
Protect your parent and give yourself peace of mind. Call 800-325-1089 for a free brochure. Medical Guardian has no activation fees, equipment costs, or long-term contracts. Be one of the first 50 callers to find out how you can get a free month of service. That's Medical Guardian at 800-325-1089. Ask how you can get a free month of service. 800-325-1089. That's 800-325-1089.
Wow.
Well, we're
the Ugandans are revolting.
We're back. We're back.
We told a joke, and that's what we got. What?
I don't know.
All I know is I've been looking at property for retirement at Cape Coral, Florida.
Really?
It's a nice community.
Especially around dawn. It's really
great.
nice there.
And, you can get a nice home there on the little canal that goes out to the Gulf. And you have a little swimming pool. It's just a great retirement.
Where Cape Coral is, you see
Cape Coral? It's Cape Coral.
You know I'm going to do that. You've been annoyed every time I've said that tonight. So where I couldn't even say it wrong that time. The sunset is what I'm trying to say.
Like
the sunset at dawn is really nice is what I am trying to say.
Well, yeah. Okay, I have a friend. Okay, Dawn, and her husband has a charter boat company called the Crack of Dawn, and that's where he's going.
I don't think that anybody wanted you to talk about that.
Well, no, you can check them out. And hire
you
them.
didn't get the sunset thing either. But
the Crack of Dawn. Oh no, that's sunrise.
Okay.
Sunrise.
Anyway, so proof that you're not that bright.
No,
but
I don't think there was any doubt. I guess I need to get
There's a woman there who decided, well, she's a human being and she has certain rights.
Right.
One of those rights is to live the way she wants to live.
Right.
Which may or may not be hooked up to the system.
Right. Utilities.
She might not want city water. And
or
as far as I'm concerned,
or city sewage or whatever.
She should be able to live that way if that's what she wants to do. Well, they're saying no. And the big problem is...
The reason was...
She didn't talk to them. And in fact, Frank Cassidy, with
some city planner there,
their code compliance commission or whatever the hell it is, what happened here is people don't talk to us or cooperate. People don't do what we want them to do.
So we're forced.
So we are forced to use legal tools at our disposal. So these people, these little peons, don't cooperate with their local government. They won't talk to us because, well, they have the right to not talk to us.
Right.
We have no other option.
We're not serfs. We don't have to report to the king.
Yeah. The only thing we can do is bring in the enforcers and enforce.
Yeah, and so what are they going to do? Was she harming anyone? That's the issue. She's trying to live off the grid.
Yeah, I don't think so.
She says, I don't need your power. I don't need your water. I don't need your sewage hookup.
Now
I'm functioning just fine.
She's relatively well known for this sort of
Yeah, my contact in Cape Coral
problems.
said that she's always in the news. And
so
I asked, I said, well, is she harming anyone? And I got no response from my
And
contact.
I think she may have a criminal record of some sort. But really, that doesn't matter.
Did she?
I think so. I don't remember.
I didn't hear that.
You move on to the next thing. I'll look that up.
Even so.
Move on to the next thing. I'll
All
look
right.
that up.
Cops shoot more people answering doors or reaching for canes. We thought they had a gun. Georgia cops shoot 17-year-old with why? No, it's we, I guess, isn't it? I never took Japanese in high school.
Well, she was acquitted of not having proper sewer electrical system.
Okay, so the accusations in her crimes were because, you didn't respect my authority.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So, more power to her. Fight the power.
Well, they had no choice but to force her to do things.
Bring down the hammer of the law on top of her.
They had no choice.
Because she didn't communicate. If she'd have just answered the door and we could have shot her.
Larceny in 2012.
Ooh, larceny for what?
Larceny. Larcening?
Did she steal water?
I don't know, but she lost her real estate license. Yeah, she was. That's the real problem. She's hooked up to her neighbor's power and water.
Or maybe the friggin' Gulf of Mexico where she was getting the water to flush the toilets.
Yeah, but then it got oily. All right, go ahead.
Oh, that was a BP thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I don't use gasoline anymore.
Okay. Or you can answer the door when the authorities knock and you can get shot.
Don't have a Wii remote in your hand,
Wii controller.
Don't have nothing in your hand either.
Or you can be like the mother that was shot because she didn't have anything in her hand when she answered the door. Or Georgia cops shoot the 17-year-old. He had a Y controller, and they said it was a gun. And
then the cop cried immediately because she realized, oh, I'm an idiot.
There was no gun, and all the witnesses said he had no gun. And this poor kid was just answering the door, la-di-da. Last thought in his mind was he was going to die that day.
Yeah.
Having a good time, playing games. Somebody knocks on the door. He goes, who is it? And there's no answer. And then he opens the door, and bam, he gets shot in the chest and dies. Or the 70-year-old man that was pulled over. The cop said, get out of the car. He gets out of the car. Well, he's an old man. He can't walk very well. He reaches into the back of his pickup truck to get his cane to help him walk, and they shoot him. Well, they shot him once.
He made it.
Shot 6 times. He survived. It doesn't tell you very much about the accuracy of the police department.
Yeah, it's understandable, but, I mean, come on.
But the authorities said, the shooting was unfortunate, but it appeared to be appropriate because Knox felt, the officer, an imminent threat to his life. Well, that's the excuse, isn't it?
Well, of course it is.
Can I say that you are an imminent threat to my life anytime that I want?
Well, now, that one, I wasn't there. It's terrible. It shouldn't have happened. Maybe the guy should have said, hey, I'm going to get my cane. Can you help me get my cane?
Who knows? A 70-year-old guy, he's thinking, well, what the hell? The cops are me over.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy, and
yeah, for sure.
He doesn't expect he's going to get shot.
Just install a peephole. I mean, really.
That's what people were saying. Is you can peephole and all that crap.
Yeah,
right.
You shouldn't. You should be able to answer your door without getting shot.
I would think so.
I mean, and if the police are there, apparently with their guns drawn already in these cases.
And how many,
at least with the kid, they should say something.
How many people in sketchy areas answer the door with a gun in their hand?
With a gun. And it's not illegal to answer the door with a gun in your hand. And you shouldn't get shot for it. But we are out of time. AtOddShow.com, Facebook.com/AtOddShow. We will see you next week.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening.